When most of the modern world thinks about greenhouse heating, the first things that come to mind are gas heaters, electric blowers, or advanced climate control systems. Yet the Amish, who avoid modern utilities, have kept greenhouses productive in the bitter cold of Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Indiana winters for generations, without touching a switch or valve. Their methods are rooted in natural principles, resourcefulness, and an intimate knowledge of how heat and cold move through the land. The foundation of Amish greenhouse heating begins with design and orientation. Amish greenhouses are typically positioned to capture maximum sunlight during the short winter days. The long side of the greenhouse often faces south, which allows the low winter sun to flood the structure with warmth. The glass or clear poly panels act like giant solar collectors, trapping heat inside during daylight hours. At night, when temperatures plunge, that stored heat is preserved by careful insulation measures. Unlike many modern designs that sacrifice practicality for convenience, Amish greenhouses are meticulously crafted so that heat loss is minimized at every joint, seam, and surface. But sunlight alone isn't enough in northern winters. Amish growers employ thermal mass storage, large objects that absorb warmth during the day and release it slowly at night. This could mean lining the inside of the greenhouse with black-painted barrels filled with water, stacks of stone or brick, or even earth berms dug against the walls. Water is particularly effective because it holds heat far longer than air. As the sun warms these barrels, they gradually radiate that heat back into the greenhouse after dark, stabilizing the temperature so plants are not shocked by nighttime freezes. This first layer of heating, harnessing natural sunlight and storing it in thermal mass, is the backbone of Amish greenhouse survival. It is passive, costs nothing once set up, and requires only knowledge and discipline to maintain. Yet, this is just the beginning. Over the next parts, we'll see how the Amish layer multiple techniques together, each simple on its own, but when combined, capable of turning a freezing Midwestern winter into a thriving growing season. Beyond sunlight and thermal mass, one of the Amish community's most ingenious methods for winter greenhouse heating is the use of compost heat. This practice, sometimes called hotbed gardening, has been around since the 1800s, but the Amish still rely on it as a clean, sustainable heat source. Large piles of compost, made from straw, manure, and plant matter, are set up either inside adjoining chambers of the greenhouse or directly beneath growing beds. As the organic material decomposes, it generates significant heat, often reaching internal temperatures of 130 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. This natural burning process is harnessed by running simple clay or metal pipes through the compost heap, which then carry the warmth into the greenhouse air or soil. In some cases, Amish farmers place their seedling boxes directly above these hotbeds, giving fragile plants a gentle and steady bottom heat that protects them from frost. What makes compost heating so effective is not just the warmth, but also the duration of heat release. A well-managed compost pile can release steady warmth for weeks or even months without needing replenishment. Another powerful technique the Amish rely on is earth-based insulation and geothermal heat. Many Amish greenhouses are either partially sunken into the ground or built with thick earthen berms piled against the north and west sides. The reason is simple. While the air outside may swing from freezing nights to mild days, the soil beneath the surface holds a steady temperature year-round, usually around 50 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit in the northern states. By digging into the earth, Amish growers tap into this natural stability. Some greenhouses are constructed in what is called a pit or wallapini style, where the structure is built several feet below ground level. The earth walls not only insulate against cold winds, but also slowly release their stored warmth into the greenhouse environment. Even if outside temperatures fall to zero, the interior stays considerably milder, often warm enough to keep hardy greens, root vegetables, and herbs thriving through the winter months. Instead of fighting against the climate with machines, they design structures that work with the land's rhythms. By embracing the ground's steady temperature and combining it with sunlight capture, their greenhouses maintain a balance that modern heated greenhouses achieve only through constant fuel consumption. Alongside compost and earth-based insulation, the Amish make heavy use of wood heat, but in a way that is far more efficient than simply putting a stove inside the greenhouse. In many communities, Amish craftsmen design small wood-fired water heating systems that circulate warmth under planting beds or through radiant piping along the greenhouse floor. Instead of letting all the heat escape into the air, these systems direct it exactly where plants need it most, the root zone. Some setups involve barrel stoves converted into water boilers, with copper or steel pipes running through them. The hot water is then circulated under soil beds, gently warming the ground without creating sudden temperature spikes. Because the heat source is wood, which Amish families already cut and store for their homes, this method is both practical and sustainable. A single load of wood can keep a greenhouse warm for hours, especially when paired with insulation and thermal mass. What makes these wood systems effective is not just their ability to keep plants alive in bitter cold, but their simplicity and adaptability. They can be built with local materials, repaired without modern tools, and sized to fit small family greenhouses or larger community operations. In fact, many Amish farms combine wood heat with compost and water barrels, creating layered systems that ensure no single failure ruins the crop. This balance of practicality and redundancy is a hallmark of Amish design. They know that in the depths of winter, survival depends not on one trick, but on a careful weaving together of many proven methods. Another method the Amish employ is layered coverings and insulation inside the greenhouse itself, creating what could be called a greenhouse within a greenhouse. While the main structure captures sunlight during the day, smaller protective coverings inside add a crucial layer of defense against the cold at night. Amish growers often stretch thick canvas, burlap, or old quilts over frames at dusk to trap rising heat close to the plants. Some even build miniature hoop houses inside the larger greenhouse, using simple wooden arches covered with clear plastic or cloth. This extra layer reduces heat loss dramatically, much like adding more blankets to a bed on a freezing night. The effect is powerful. Plants under double or triple coverings can withstand outside temperatures that would normally kill them outright. In addition to fabric layers, straw bales are strategically stacked along the greenhouse's north wall or around seedling boxes. Straw is a remarkably effective insulator, and because Amish farms always have excess straw from livestock bedding, it costs them nothing. This philosophy of layered protection reveals something about Amish ingenuity. They never depend on one solution alone. Instead, they stack simple, low-cost methods to create a stable environment, proving that consistency, not high-tech machinery, is the real key to survival through harsh winters. While most people think of heating only in terms of adding warmth, the Amish know that retaining heat is just as important as generating it. For this reason, careful attention is given to insulating the greenhouse structure itself so that the warmth from sun, compost, or wood isn't lost to the night air. One common practice is using double-layer glazing on greenhouse walls and roofs. Instead of a single panel of glass or polycarbonate, Amish greenhouses often have two layers with a small air gap between them. This trapped air acts as insulation, slowing down the escape of heat. In some cases, families stretch clear plastic over the inside of the frame to create this effect at very low cost, almost like putting storm windows on a house. Another traditional insulation trick is lining greenhouse walls with natural materials. On the windward side, usually the north, walls may be reinforced with stacked firewood, straw bales, or even earthen mounds. These dense barriers block icy winds and reduce drafts, which is often the biggest enemy of winter growing. By shielding the structure from direct cold air exposure, the interior temperature stays far more stable. Some Amish even use removable insulating panels, wooden shutters, or canvas coverings that can be pulled over greenhouse windows at night and removed during the day. This simple act prevents massive nighttime heat loss, yet costs virtually nothing beyond some carpentry and cloth. In fact, many Amish greenhouses look completely wrapped after sunset, almost like barns bedded down for the night. Through these techniques, the Amish transform their greenhouses into something more like thermal envelopes, structures designed not only to capture heat, but to hold onto it fiercely. This attention to detail ensures that the effort spent gathering warmth during the day isn't wasted, and plants are protected through even the longest, coldest winter nights.